Hi, I'm Dr. Trey, and the title of my critical literature review presentation is Linking Emotional Intelligence to Self Efficacy. What is the relationship? This is a sample recorded critical literature review presentation, and the content is, for the most part, completely made up. So please don't cite anything from this presentation. A lot of the information is fake. Just use it as a model for creating your own critical literature review presentation. Let's move on. First, I want to introduce the problem. There are many individual characteristics that are thought to be associated with individual success and achievement. But how do individual traits such as extroversion, self confidence, interpersonal awareness, positive attitude, etc., combine to create an individual's unique perspective on life and contribute to one's perceived life success? Well, two such traits are commonly found in the literature: self efficacy and emotional intelligence. These two constructs are particularly correlated with high levels of success and achievement. As such, it may be helpful to work to help others to develop these traits so that they may live better lives. As teachers, psychological health professionals, and wellness professionals, how can we use what we know about emotional intelligence and self efficacy to help people improve their life situations? These ideas and questions are the driving force behind this literature review. These are the guiding research questions of this literature review. They are: how are levels of self efficacy related to achieving personal life satisfaction? How are levels of emotional intelligence related to achieving personal life satisfaction? Could emotional intelligence and self efficacy be related in some way? And for the purposes of this review, I am looking for studies that define personal life satisfaction as either career goal attainment, educational attainment, relationship success, career satisfaction, or relationship satisfaction. The overall purpose is to examine the literature to learn about how self efficacy and emotional intelligence have been used to help people have more satisfying and achieved lives. A secondary purpose is to discover evidence for any possible relationships between these two constructs. Okay, so to summarize the literature, self efficacy has been positively correlated to task based successes, school performance, and other types of domain specific achievement. Alfred Bandura is the creator of this theoretical framework, but there has been work done by many others over the last couple of decades. For example, Bandura and Ross, 1995, Ross and Michael, 2005, Yeoman and Stark, 2008, Stark and Terry, 2008, 2010, 2011. These are just some samples of literature that exist on this area. Emotional intelligence has been positively correlated to career achievement, relationship satisfaction, overall wellness, and life satisfaction. Mayer and Salovey, in their 1997 article, were the original creators of this framework, but Daniel Goleman in 2001 made it a household name with that bestseller he published. Additionally, more work has been done over the past nearly 2 decades. For example, C. Johnson and Tooney, 2004, Jackson and Phillip, 2007 and 2009, and Edwards and Phillip, 2009, 2010, and 2011. Few studies have examined self efficacy and emotional intelligence together. One study by Stuckey in 2010 found, and Bandura and Stuckey in 2010 found some mild correlations between the two. Okay, so a little bit of synthesis based on what was found. In successful adults, there is evidence to success that these two traits exist in higher levels. In not so successful adults, both traits seem to exist in lower levels. Both traits have been shown as individually related to high achievement and high life satisfaction in some ways. This has been strongly supported over decades of literature. Because of these associations, one would assume that these two constructs may be related, even though few studies have examined the two constructs together. So, moving on to the methodological critique, most studies are associational in design, using correlational, causal comparative, and predictive, that is, regression, types of research approaches. Most involve large sample sizes and are pretty effectively designed. Based on my review, there is a dearth of qualitative studies that examine these constructs with increased depth. Many studies did not determine if sample size provided enough statistical power. There were N sizes that ranged from 30 to 250 in the studies I reviewed. Additionally, the measurement of life satisfaction could be somewhat questionable because it is not consistently operationalized across the literature. This makes it somewhat difficult to compare findings from study to study. Last, there are not many studies on young children or older adults or populations with special considerations such as persons with disabilities. So, for some conclusions, based on my review, there are some tried and true connections between these two constructs that have been supported by research evidence over the past couple of decades. High levels of emotional intelligence is associated with overall positive outcomes in terms of achievement and life satisfaction in many areas. Also, high levels of self efficacy have been shown to lead to better achievement and task based success outcomes across many domains. Currently, there isn't research evidence to really support a solid relationship between emotional intelligence and various types of self efficacy. But due to the association of each with positive outcomes, there should be a connection. Further research needs to be done in this area. Additionally, further research could be done to bridge some of the gaps in the existing literature, such as using methods other than large sample quantitative approaches to study these constructs, examining the constructs in different populations, and working to make the life satisfaction variable more clearly understood and less ambiguous. Finally, the implications for practice. As community agency counselors, school counselors, and other practitioners whose work is to assist people with adjustment issues, life strategies, and human development concerns, the literature supports creating exercises and interventions that help people to increase their levels of emotional intelligence and self efficacy based on the specific issue that is under study. Thanks so much for listening, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at my email address that is listed there on the slide. Thank you.